What's up, everyone, and welcome to the As Seen on TV podcast for Wrestlemania 30, or should I say, Wrestlemania. I'm just so mad right now. There's not even words. I have no words. But first, before we get to anything, my two co-hosts, I got Erika.
Hello.
And Jason.
No.
I 100% agree with that. Unfortunately, I knew he was going to win, and I called it right off the beginning. But I think that the thing, I want to address the elephant in the room, the thing I think we're all the most mad about is the Undertaker streak. Right?
Yep.
Yeah, that was bad.
It's like Vince came to my house and kicked me in the balls.
I saw something on Twitter. They said it's like watching your father get beat up in front of you.
Pretty much. It's
It
like
was just...
you grow up watching this guy since, for the past 24 years, and then
I
Superman.
watched him debut at the 1990 Survivor Series, which was the first wrestling event that I ever watched. Wow. He literally is the reason why I was still watching wrestling in any way, shape, or form. I used to watch I watched, debut on and off. I was really young then. But, and then when, it was around the Attitude Era when I was really into it, when he was doing the whole Ministry of Darkness angle and marrying Stephanie, sacrificing, and Viscera, and Midian, and it was just like, that was the epitome of The Undertaker to me. And as much as I didn't like the American Badass angle, I stuck by him, stuck through all the way now, and then it's just like, I stopped watching the main shows. And I was having a talk with somebody earlier today, and it was like, I think the reason why I stopped watching the shows is Undertaker stopped appearing on them. And I go, is it a coincidence that I only literally watch WrestleMania every year? That's the only pay-per-view I really have been keeping tabs on. I've caught a few here and there. I watched Rumble this year, but it was like, WrestleMania was the one that I really cared about the most. And now, like, you're gonna fucking lose to Brock Lesnar? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, I don't know. Like, when did you guys start watching wrestling?
I started... Oh, go ahead. Yeah. I started watching right around 95 with my grandmother, who was in love with Shawn Michaels. That little old lady got me hooked.
Yeah.
I started watching back early 80s when I was just a little kid watching the USWA. It was that was the one where Stone Cold started in.
Mm-hmm.
He couldn't be Steve Williams because there was already a Steve Williams, so he had to be Steve Austin, and it was based out of Memphis, and that's basically because of my dad. But then I watched WCW forever until that tanked. But
I'm at the point right now where I don't even know if I'm gonna watch wrestling anymore after this. Like, I'm so mad. Like, I'm gonna watch Raw. I don't ever watch Raw, and I'm going to watch Raw this week. Right? Like, yeah. I believe Erika just sent me a text or something when I was on my way home that said that they literally had one chance. Was that you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, they have one chance to get this right. They have to completely break kayfabe to do it, but say that ref went off script. He did a 3 count when he was supposed to do a 2 count, and he caused a loss. And we're firing him.
I'm surprised that You Fucked Up chant didn't break out.
Yeah. I mean, alright,
They were too stunned. The entire 75,000 people there, nothing. Yeah. Everybody was just staring. No one believed it.
I was watching at Buffalo Wild Wings, and I kind of, like, I was paying full attention. That was the only match that I done all my attention to, but somebody said something to me, and I turned away for half a second, and it was over. So I missed the actual ending. And from when I looked over, like, Brock Lesnar was in the corner, and he just looked like pale white, like shocked look on his face. Paul Heyman had his hand, like his mouth open, like he didn't know what the hell just happened. And to me, it just seemed like that was not supposed to happen.
Yeah, it took him like 5 seconds. Took Heyman like 5 seconds to realize, wait a minute, 3 count just went down. That wasn't supposed to happen.
This, my friend,
won.
shoot.
I couldn't hear like anything that was going on. So was there like what were the commentators saying?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Dead silence. It was like 10 seconds of dead silence. And then finally they're like, did that just happen? He just won. The streak is over. And that was Cole saying that. It was like, it wasn't planned. It wasn't like they rehearsed it. He was like, the streak is over. What do we do?
No, I was telling you guys while we were setting up the pre-show. Like, I went to professional wrestling school for a little bit. I was trained by Paul Roma. Wow, Paul Roma from Power and Glory, tag team with Hercules. He was a member of the original Four Horsemen, and like part of the training that I went referee training because I did some refereeing at our local shows. We were wrestling under Power and Glory Wrestling. Local shows here in Connecticut, and the first thing that I learned is when you drop to the mat, that makes a noise. The wrestlers, their eyes are usually closed. They're not looking at your hand or anything like that. So they're 100% listening to you. And you drop to the ring. That's noise number one. Your first count when you smash your hand down. That's noise number two. Second is noise number three, and when they hear the third one, they get ready to kick out before the fourth one hits. And to me, I didn't get a good look at it, and I don't have any footage to look back on right now, but to me what happened was the referee went down and dropped and did that one count at the same time. So, can you guys confirm that? Do you, I know it all happened so fast, but did you guys happen to see anything like that?
That was... Yeah, I couldn't tell. I mean... And even if I would have, it was just such disbelief and such, I don't care anymore, that it was like I wouldn't have paid attention.
Yeah, I got a text message, looked at my phone, and I heard the bell ring, and it was like, what the fuck happened?
I was staring right at the screen. I still didn't get it.
How long did it take for the bell to go off? Because it didn't sound like the bell went off for almost like a minute and a half, 2 minutes.
No, they didn't call for the end of the match because the ref hit a 3 count, and... It was like,
he did something. I don't know what the ref did, but I saw the ref do something, and he just had this look in his face like, oh, fucked up.
He's like, did I just do that?
No.
It's like he forgot to pull out.
Was this a referee that we see a lot? Like, because I haven't been watching, so I don't know. I didn't recognize the referee by any means.
I don't know. I mean... They don't really publicize the referees like they did back in the Attitude Era.
Right.
Like, you knew the referees back then,
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like, it's just a guy in stripes. I don't know.
A guy getting his big break.
Right, but sometimes you're able to recognize him. I remember there was a guy on SmackDown for the longest time with blonde hair, and you knew that referee. It was like right around 2001, 2002. I didn't know his name, but I knew who he was. So was this somebody that you guys recognized at all, even if you didn't know the name, or just some random guy? Why would they stick somebody like that in such an important match?
Because they're all supposed to be trained the same. It's supposed to be interchangeable.
And
the ref is...
maybe there's a chance he was on NXT, and of course, he gets called up, of course, like anyone else, the main roster, and then blows it. But yeah, I'm sure we'll find out who he is pretty soon enough, though.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna go back and watch this match as soon as I can, and whether I have to download it or whatever the hell, I'm going to get this match. I'm gonna watch it again, and the fastest way we're gonna know, because they're never gonna come out and say. They may somewhere down the line, but they're not going to come out and say, oh, it was an accident, the Undertaker meant... No, they're not. Maybe, in a documentary or something, 10 years later, they might say something. They're not going to tell us whether it was an accident or on purpose.
Yeah. The Brock Lesnar 21-1 DVD.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a mistake. That wasn't supposed to happen. We fired that guy that night.
Yeah, so the fastest way we're going to know is whether or not we see that referee again.
No.
If we see the referee... We know it was planned, right? Right.
I would have... It's still, mind-boggling, what happened. It's you can't really process it, and hopefully something does happen, or, one of these, internet insiders figures something out. But it's still, Yeah, it's still speechless. Still speechless.
I got up from the table. I was like, I don't even want to watch this anymore. I came back, but I was just like,
Well, the Divas match was right after it. You didn't miss anything.
no,
Yeah,
I saw the match, but it was just
It
like
was a waste of time.
like I said, the Undertaker's the reason I started watching this thing. Like, and it's just like you killed it.
yeah. They're like we said before. There's no point to the streak anymore. If Sting does come back next year, what's it all for?
Like,
Well, he's supposed to come back tomorrow. That's the thing.
Yeah.
They're
yeah,
supposed to start this tomorrow and build over an entire year. And
I mean, I guess they can still do this. They could still work it in at some way and do it, but it's not gonna have the same impact.
Was the best eye makeup.
It literally looked like the Undertaker was on the verge of tears at one point.
Yeah, he just laid there for how long? Then finally got up. It's like that's his baby. That's what he's known for. And
yeah,
gone. Just gone.
Craig in chat, Crane Brain Impact says it was planned. 21-1. It was on the big screen instantly. To me, it didn't seem like it was on the screen instantly. It seemed like it took them a little while.
Yeah, it's like they had to type something up quickly. It's like, oh.
But even so, because I had a friend that interned at WWF. I won't call it the other thing. It's always WWF to me. He interned at WWF for a while, and he said all the graphics and stuff like that are made in Stamford. They're not made there on the show. So if that's the case, and they had to make it and send it, but I don't even think that's the case. I think that they know stuff like this goes wrong because this isn't the first time. If that was the case, this isn't the first time a match has ended the way it wasn't supposed to be, and the only one that I could think of off the top of my head is the debut of Paul White, the Big Show. Vince McMahon was supposed to win that match, and when Big Show threw Stone Cold Steve Austin into the cage and it broke and Stone Cold's feet touched the ground, they had to declare him the winner.
Yeah, and there was also at WrestleMania 2000, not anything big, but that hardcore battle royal they had, where it was supposed to be Crash winning. Taz had him in the Taz mission, wasn't supposed to, tap out. Hardcore Holly comes in, hits him in the head with a candy jar, and 1, 2, and Tim White's like, oh, and that's it. Hardcore Holly's the winner.
Right. So. Yeah, I remember that. The candy and stuff went everywhere.
Yeah.
So, I just because the graphic was there does not necessarily mean that it wasn't supposed to happen that way. Or it was or wasn't supposed to happen that way. They may have just had a backup graphic just in case, knowing things can go wrong. And I believe that they were even worried that Brock was going to injure Undertaker at some point. I remember reading something about that going into this. They were concerned that Brock might seriously injure the Undertaker. It's no secret the Undertaker isn't in the best of shape. He's got 2 plastic hips. Like,
he's almost 50.
Yeah, so
Lesnar's a beast. It's just he got thrown around. I'm 20. No, I'm not 24. I'm 27 years old. If I got thrown around like that, I would just die. They'd have to kill me.
Yeah.
That'd be done.
It's just, I don't know. I am in so much rage over this. I want to just flip this whole desk right now.
It's like your girlfriend cheated on you.
Yeah, it's worse than that. I've been through that. It's worse than that.
You know what's the really bad thing about all this? Is that Daniel Bryan finally got the title. And yet no one cares anymore.
Well, I don't know.
This was like the big thing going last few months was Daniel Bryan finally getting the title.
The Buffalo Wild Wings kind of erupted still. People cared, but... all right, so when WrestleMania started, me and my friends were sitting around, we were talking, and we were kind of like going through the list of people and who would win, and we all unanimously agreed that Daniel Bryan was going to beat Triple H. That was kind of a given. Yeah. I initially said Batista was going to win the match, the final match, because Bryan is the fan favorite here, and for them to do something shocking, and the fact that everybody hates Batista, that would throw so much more heat on him, and carry on a kind of a cool story that they could do. But I changed my answer as soon as The Undertaker lost.
Yeah.
And I was like, they're not going to have 2 big losses like that. But I was already kind of teetering, because when Triple H lost to Daniel Bryan in the match and started beating the crap out of him with the chair. And I go, they're already kind of setting him up to be the underdog here, and they're going to have the underdog come back and win, and this big triumph, David versus Goliath kind of thing. And
yeah,
I kind of already knew what was happening then, but the Brock Lesnar Undertaker thing really kind of sealed it in for me when I knew for a fact there was no way they were going to end that pay-per-view without Daniel Bryan winning.
The funny thing is that match, it was pretty good, but I personally felt that I already saw it at WrestleMania 21 with Chris Benoit. Kid coming in and the woman coming at the end, it's like it's same thing to me, but it was still pretty solid though.
Yeah. Yep. Apparently I missed the WrestleMania kickoff. I didn't even see it was the Usos.
Yeah, that was on the pre-show only. That wasn't on pay-per-view.
Okay, so that's why we were kind of confused as to how we missed that match and whatever. So the Usos ended up winning that, correct?
Yeah, that was a good match.
Was it?
I mean, yeah, they changed it last minute to be
elimination.
Yeah, to be an elimination instead of just a one fall.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
And yeah, it was good to watch.
Yeah, it really was the best when it was just the Usos and the Real Americans, because you could just have those two go at it and not have a midget Mexican flying off the rope knocking everyone down.
I like the story though.
It is funny, but it's like, I don't know. The 6-year-old inside of me is like, ha ha ha, but the internet wrestling nerd in me is like, fuck that shit.
Yeah.
I liked yesterday on the Hall of Fame where you had Hornswoggle and El Torito chasing each other.
There were some really cool moments during that Hall of Fame, like,
Mr. T's induction speech. Wow.
What the hell was that?
That took forever.
The only thing that ended up being good out of that was Kane's interruption and then opening up saying he took so long talking about his mom that I cut into my talking about my daddy, and I just started laughing. I was like, "Well played, Kane. Well played."
And they cut Scott Hall's time down like to less than 5 minutes or something because of that.
Yeah.
That guy looks really good now.
But Lita had a really awesome speech. I really liked listening to her whole story. She was really funny, even though her plastic surgery or whatever looks horrible.
God.
Like, you could see, like, all in her face, it just didn't look right. But I don't know, she was really interesting to listen to. I like that whole story with Rey Mysterio and whatnot, and how the Lucha Libre, and that was really cool. And Kane's moment with Paul Bearer, that whole story and everything with the ski mask and Kane learned how to drive, like that was a really, really awesome story. And the Ultimate Warrior, surprisingly
awesome,
very articulate and well spoken.
The Warrior is awesome.
Unlike the Ultimate Warrior that we know from his famous promos that make no sense whatsoever. I was expecting that through the whole thing, and I was very much surprised.
I was more surprised that Linda inducted him. That was, like, strange to me.
Yeah, well, he requested it.
Oh, I bet he did. Yeah, they were... People, when we were doing our thread about that, people were like, why is Linda inducting him? Why is Linda inducting him? It's like, well, if you'd listen to it, she's saying why she's inducting him. Because she's the only one in the company that he actually cared about.
He gave her the rocket fuel.
Yeah. No, I honestly think that he requested Linda because he seems like the kind of guy, especially after what happened with that DVD release, that he's done with the bullshit of the company, and he would have called them out on that.
Yeah.
So I think he personally requested Linda himself.
Kind of like, and he's still kind of like a little bit vindictive about it.
Yeah, he got some digs in there, but he did it in good good manners too. Like, it wasn't like, just I'm being rude for the sake of being rude. Like, he did it with taste.
Yeah, this is really good.
But yeah, Mr. T, I started surfing the internet through that. Like, I was not listening anymore.
There was a counter, and I was watching this video, and I stopped at like 30 or 40 times where he mentioned his mother because I just couldn't have it anymore.
Yeah.
I did like when he started talking about on Arbor Day and April Fool's Day and President's Day and
they started going, what?
yeah, the crowd just started going what, and then you just see Stone Cold in the front row. He's just his head's back and he's just cracking up.
Yeah, he's just losing it over that.
That was the best moment of the whole speech. And then he's like, and even on Father's Day, I love my mama. It's just like, oh my god.
He loves his mother every day of the month.
Yeah, and then who else was in the Hall of Fame? Carlito's father.
Yeah, the man who didn't do anything without his own promotion.
Yeah, right.
It was funny because we was watching that, and he was struggling with the English. And everyone was like, he's just taking forever. He can't say this. Like, halfway through, he just dropped it and went straight Spanish. And it's like, yeah, that's easier now.
Yeah. Yep. I feel like I'm missing somebody else. Razor Ramon. Did we mention? I think we briefly said Razor Ramon, but yeah,
Jake the Snake.
Jake
the Snake.
Oh,
Jake.
wow.
Yeah. How did we forget Jake?
He had an awesome story.
He did. He had a really incredible story. I was just kind of disappointed he didn't have his snake with him.
He had a snake with him, just not the one we wanted.
He had the trouser snake. That's what we call what's Santo? Is that his name? Santo Di Morello or something?
Santino?
I'm terrible with the new guy. Like I said, I watch once a year, so for me to keep up with all the new guys' names, even though he's been around for a while now, I don't process them. But his Socko 2.0 we call the trouser snake. So
yeah. You see the Cobra actually got an elimination?
Yes, it did. It did. Did you guys have any idea who was going to win the Battle Royal, the Andre the Giant Battle Royal?
No. Nobody in my group, like 15 people, nobody called Cesaro.
No.
Like, most of them had Big Show.
I thought Big Show was too obvious. So
I had Big E picked, and he didn't. Yeah.
I love Cesaro though, but that spot at the end was incredible.
It was. I thought Sheamus. He was my pick. I thought Sheamus was going to win. But because my pool of people when we were going in, even though we weren't betting for anything, I was like, I know how it's going to end. So can I get credit for that? Can you give it like 0.5? Like if this plays out this way? And they're like, no. I go, well, the winner of the match is whoever's going to pick up the Big Show and slam him like Andre the Giant, like Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant. I go, that's who's going to win the match. And sure enough, that's how it won. So it was a little...
To you.
Yeah, it was a little predictable in that sense to me anyway. But like I said, I've been kind of in the background of wrestling. And we were taught not only how to do the wrestling and then like the ring managers and referees, but we were also taught the mentality of it and kind of like the background stuff and all that.
Yeah.
And it kind of psychology. Yeah, the ring psychology, and it kind of like ruined wrestling for me a little bit because I look at stuff and I'm like, it's gonna do this is and like the John Cena match. I knew Cena was gonna win. The rest of I think everybody at my group picked Cena except for one person picked Bray Wyatt. But I was like, I go, you're gonna see Cena get his ass kicked for the entire match, and then he's gonna come back and pull some stuff out at the very end and win. And that's exactly what happened. Cena got his ass kicked. So
I picked Bray Wyatt because Cena had said that the reason he's doing this match, the reason why he picked this match is because he wanted to put Bray Wyatt over. He wanted him to have a big win at WrestleMania. So,
yeah, but he got in his head, and just how he performed and what he did, to me, it's bigger than the win. Way bigger.
Yeah. What about the Shield match with oh wait, hold on, before that. What is up with the guy with the sheep mask? Like I don't watch, so like
it's sexy.
It's sexy? Like is there anything behind that? Is it just something that was for this show or like
no,
is this a running thing?
That's his character. It's supposed to be like a Deliverance type reference. But yeah, it's weird. He's bad.
Yeah, and then the sheep mask got knocked off, and then we were joking around saying at our next Halloween party we're all going to dress up like the sheep.
Nice.
And
On
then we saw that on www.notf.com, they had the sheep mask for sale, and then we were all not as excited to be the sheep anymore.
Anyone can get these now?
I was like, I'm gonna go big and get like by the people who make those horse masks that you see everybody around. I'll get one of the sheep ones like that, and then I'll dress up like Superman or something and just wear the sheep head.
That would work.
Yeah. But you let a part-timer break the streak? Apologize.
I had to take a drink, and I didn't want to put brand labels on the show. Like, yeah.
So I'm still so mad about that. Like, are you kidding me?
Right? Yeah. I mean, really.
Well, technically, Undertaker wrestles at WrestleMania, makes a couple appearances. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I know I'm gonna get crucified for that.
Do you think he's gonna retire?
After that, no. Hell no, I wouldn't.
But he, like, going out... Yeah, I mean, I guess you'd want to retire in a win, but, like, that's kind of a shitty way to, like, end your streak. Like, I much rather would have had him end it last year to CM Punk. I think Punk would have been a little more deserving than fucking Brock Lesnar, of all people.
Yeah, a lot of people I were talking to, they were like, oh, Shawn Michaels. That would have been pretty cool, but to me, I would rather have somebody who's coming up, you know, an absolute beast that's not Brock Lesnar, like a Roman Reigns or Bray Wyatt, somebody like that could actually, oh, I beat The Undertaker and run with that for 5-10 years, not with, you know, like Brock Lesnar, where he's going to be for the next year or so, maybe.
I think even if, like instead of, like, facing Lesnar, what they should have done, instead of writing Daniel Bryan into the title match, they should have given Daniel Bryan the streak against The Undertaker. That would have went over well. The crowd would have been through the fucking roof, and I would have been 100% behind that.
I would have been pretty badass. It's just... it's still shocking to me, but Brock Lesnar, it felt like there was really no build. Like, it's like, oh, Brock Lesnar's a badass. And they're trying to make Undertaker seem like this a pussy, when he's really this badass dude, and getting his ass kicked and all this other stuff, when it just seemed like, it basically was like elevating Brock Lesnar to what he doesn't deserve, I think.
Yeah, and I mean, how many times has The Undertaker lost to Brock Lesnar already?
In 2002 to 2003, probably a lot.
Yeah, at least 4 or 5 times.
See, here's the really bad thing. I don't know how true it is, but I heard that after tonight, Brock Lesnar was supposed to go back to UFC.
Go ahead, he can go.
So
just let him go.
That kind of, if that would be true, that kind of puts more thing behind the whole not meant to be thing.
Yeah. Now, do you think they're gonna try to repeal this in some way, shape, or form?
It's not a title match. They can't.
It already happened.
But if they go, like, they've done, like, granted, it's been for title matches in the past, but the streak is almost a title in itself. It's kind of an unwritten title. So if they can go back, and even if they were to forge video evidence to make it in the Undertaker's favor, I'd 100% support that and claim that that's what happened all along. But if they can somehow manage to get some footage to make it look like it wasn't supposed to happen that way, or that the ref only had a 2 count or something ridiculous like that, do you think that would be a legitimate way that they can bring the streak back and call for a rematch?
They can asterisk it, and they can cancel it out and, you know, negate it or whatever. Yeah, but they can't actually go through and repeal that 5 seconds there that wasn't supposed to happen.
Well, they kind of did that with that tag title match in the Rockers years ago when they won the titles. The ring broke, and they never acknowledged it, and it basically didn't happen. But with this, you basically saw it happen, so...
But then we had I specifically remember some incident with the Big Show, and was it a Royal Rumble? And they had video footage, and the one foot touching, not both, and... Like, if they were to pull something like that out, they could technically reverse the decision.
Yeah, they can reverse the decision. It's just whether the fan base would accept it, because
That's true. Yeah.
I think it's just by the fans' reactions alone. I think the fans would 100% accept that.
I mean, we'd love it if they did that, but really, it's I don't know. It's kind of like you get your car stolen and then the cops bring it back a day later. Still win a day without it,
Yeah.
Bad analogy, I know, but
Yeah, I'm so. I don't even know.
I don't want to talk about the Undertaker anymore.
This whole podcast has been about the Undertaker.
How about that Divas match?
The Divas match. I think AJ was really the only logical choice.
AJ won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys possibly pick anybody? Like, see, I don't know any of the Divas, but my friends were kind of unanimous that it was going to be AJ, and me and one of my friends were going to tie the whole pay-per-view, because we had the same answer for Undertaker. We both had picked the Undertaker, and we had lost from that. We had both picked Daniel Bryan. So the deciding factor was this match, and he picked AJ right off the bat. So I was like, I don't want AJ. I don't want to end this in a tie. I go, even if I lose, I lose. It's whatever. So I'm just gonna pick. I said the one that looks like a piñata. I don't know their names, so I was like, that's my pick. So I ended up losing the pool, but everybody else at the table was unanimous for AJ.
See, everybody in my group was unanimous for not AJ.
Oh.
Like, we didn't know who would win, but it was pretty certain that AJ would not walk away from it with the title. Because, WWE is pretty bad about punishing spouses and relationships of people who, dog the company.
Fucked up.
I was surprised to see Vicky there. I didn't know she was going to be there. But that's just me not following things closely.
There was a post that came up tonight saying that she's going to be leaving the company, and that tonight was her last event.
Interesting.
I don't know if it's true or not, but
the one thing I was thankful for all the noise in Buffalo Wild Wings was the fact that I couldn't hear her voice.
Oh yeah.
So I didn't get to hear her classic "excuse me" if that was thrown out there.
Yeah, she said it 3 times.
Thank you.
And then that cackle laugh. It was, yeah. They even had her mic turned up, so you had to hear it.
Well, I didn't.
Right.
Yeah, it was funny because we were joking about like the volume and stuff. We couldn't really hear too much of it, but then like at the beginning of WrestleMania when Hulk Hogan was out and then Stone Cold came out, we all heard the glass and we're like, oh, it's Austin. And then one of my friends, my friend Steve goes, it'd be funny if The Rock came out. And as soon as he said that, The Rock came out. And we were just like, oh, this is great. And then, I don't know, we couldn't really hear too much of it, but we did hear the fact that they all used their classic lines, their catchphrases at the end. But how was that banter between them all? Was it? Did it feel forced or?
No, it was natural.
Yeah.
It was just like Stone Cold came out there and he was like, if you want me to whip his ass, whip Hulk Hogan's ass, give me a hell yeah. The crowd's like, hell yeah. He's like, I knew you'd say that.
Probably the most iconic thing that stuck with the crowd from Stone Cold is the what chant. Like, is that still prominent? Like,
oh, that's everybody.
Well, yeah, it started with Austin, but it started going to everybody after that. Like, the crowd just does it for everybody.
Now. They even do it in TNA.
Really?
Yeah.
10, 11 years later, it's still going on.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah,
that was
the power of the rattlesnake.
Yeah, I think whoever wrote that storyline in the first place is probably regretting it at this point.
Oh yeah, the back area and like most of the talent hate it because it's hard for them to pull off their promos and pull off their characters, because if they take a breath, it's like, what? Dude, I'm trying to talk here,
Yeah. You get people like The Rock and stuff. They're able to power through it. Like I've seen The Rock work through it before and get them to actually stop. Just he woos them over because he's The Rock and he can do that. Austin plays into it because he just has fun with it. Like
yeah, he's at that stage where it's all fun for him, and The Rock, it's fun for him, but he's always going to be that ultimate cool, funny, badass type of character, where Stone Cold's just going to be drinking beer and having fun.
Yeah.
And Hulk Hogan's just going to be old.
Yep. So I guess the only match we didn't talk about was the 6-man tag match, which was the Shield versus Kane and New Age Outlaws.
That was over too quick for me to really notice.
It did. It seemed to go by really quickly. I'm looking at match times, how long the matches lasted, and it was the shortest match on the card, running 2 minutes and 57 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
they call it a squash match.
The funny thing is, my wife, she's like, "Oh, you need to go to the store right now." I'm like, "Okay, this will be a good 10, 15-minute match." So I go to the store, come back, and the freaking Battle Royal's halfway over. I'm like, "What the fuck just happened?"
Yeah, that was kind of the bathroom break match for us. I don't know. I was rooting for New Age Outlaws simply because the last pay-per-view that I did actually watch was Royal Rumble when they won the titles. I was kind of surprised, but not really at the same time to see that they had lost it. I don't know. I miss when title reigns lasted for very, very long times.
Well, they were the transitionary people.
Right. Yeah.
The way they do it now is you drop the title to some big name, and then that person will pass the title on to you instead of
right.
Yeah.
So, I know this wasn't for the tag titles, but what were you two guys' favorite tag team champions of all time?
All time, you got to go with the Dudleys. All the
Bubba Ray and Devon Dudley. They were epic.
Favorite. Go ahead.
Being 12, 13 years old and just seeing people get put through tables, the coolest thing ever.
Yep.
Favorite of all time would be a Hawk and Animal.
Legion of Doom.
Yeah.
Yes.
Other than that, second favorite would be Rock and Sock.
Rock and Sock Connection was great.
Yeah.
There's been some classical ones, and in my top 5 is Edge and Christian, the Hardy Boys, and the Dudley Boys. But surprisingly, my favorite tag... Oh, and technically this was Edge and Christian, was Los Conquistadores. Like, I love that whole angle with the Hardy Boys, and that was probably really fun. That was one of my most fun ones. But my favorite tag team of all time was Kane and X-Pac.
That was actually pretty good.
Because you had never seen something like that before. Like, I don't know if they've ever tried to replicate something like that, but they won the tag titles by fighting each other. Like,
okay.
The match ended like X-Pac accidentally hit Kane, and Kane choke slammed the opponent or whatever, and then grabbed X-Pac, who was the legal man, and choke slammed X-Pac, but choke slammed him onto his opponent. He fell down and got the 3 count, and they accidentally became the tag team champions. And their whole title reign, they just fought each other during the matches. So they fought each other more than they fought their opponents and retained their belts. And that was probably my favorite of all time.
It's funny, the teams that only last 2 or 3 months that are really good teams, you forget about because just a flash in the pan.
Exactly. Yeah, chat saying Kane and Undertaker. That's Brothers of Destruction was one of my favorites as well. Legion of Doom. Doink the effing clown. Doink was amazing. Doink is amazing.
My issue with names of these people is that I grew up with WCW, and I know more people through that than through their WWF names, and so it's like the Road Warriors or Scott Hall instead of Razor Ramon
Sean Waltman.
Or Kevin Nash,
what was he?
Not Diesel.
Yeah. What was Sean Waltman in WCW?
6.
Six.
Yeah.
Or was he just 6? I think he goes
I think it was
6.
6.
I think he goes by 6 Pac now.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Which is kind of funny. And then he was 1 2 3 Kid when he first came into the WWF, and then he was X Pac after that. But yeah, I don't know. There was a lot of rumors coming around tonight that Sting was going to debut during the Undertaker match, but that didn't pan out. I wish it did, because it probably would have saved that match.
Way fucking better.
The people were saying that what was the other Evolution was possibly going to reform tonight. That kind of would have been cool. I would have liked to see them come out during the triple threat match at the end. It still have Daniel Bryan win. That still would have been awesome, but
Let the kid have his moment.
yeah, exactly. I don't know. I fuck Brock Lesnar.
Right.
Like, I'm sorry, but it's killing me.
I
When
know
he
it makes.
came back, it was like the biggest thing. It's like my jaw was on the floor, and now it's just like, fuck this guy.
It was the second longest match on the card, and it wasn't by very much.
Nope.
25 minutes, 25 seconds it went. And Daniel Bryan's Triple H match was almost 26 minutes, being the longest match on the card. But I mean, like, that match, like, if the match was a good match, then I may not even be that upset. But
yeah.
After watching Undertaker fight Shawn Michaels in back-to-back WrestleManias, and then being like, you can't top that, and then going after Triple H and having a match that almost did top that, like, going from those matches to this horrible match, like, this,
Bad.
I didn't even want to watch it. Like, I'm sitting there going, this match is really boring. Like, I love The Undertaker, I really want to watch it, I want to support it, but this is not even an entertaining match. And then for that to happen, it was just even bigger of a letdown.
For the most part during that match, this is what I was doing. That's playing fucking Mario.
Super Mario 3D Land.
Yeah.
Right?
It just was bad. Then I stopped. Then I got a text message, and then that whole New Orleans screwjob thing happened.
The New Orleans... That's what this is going to be known as. The New Orleans screwjob.
I imagine a lot of people are whining about that in the back.
So, like I said, as we started the show, I'm actually going to watch Raw this week. I never, ever, ever watch Raw. And I will watch Raw this week. I need to see what happens with The Undertaker. I got to see if they mention it. I'm going to watch the whole show. Like, I don't care. I'm going to watch the entire show. But, what are you guys' predictions coming into Raw?
It's gonna be awesome.
So, we go from Wrestlemania to the best Raw ever.
That's the funny thing. It's like you look at the WrestleManias for the last couple of years. They've been pretty good. But then you have the Raw the next night, and it's just fucking awesome TV. And it's just going to blow your balls off tomorrow, because it's really going to be awesome. I hope.
Yeah. Sorry to go back to it again, but I just noticed Leatherface in chat goes, I'm curious about how much the rest of the locker room is raging about Brock winning. Like, what do you think is going... Like, if this was not supposed to happen, what do you think was going through the locker room?
I think if CM Punk was there, he would have walked out again.
I think he may have been in the background. We don't know for sure, but there was rumor that he was at the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I can't confirm that for sure. I didn't see him in the crowd. I don't think there was pictures or anything like that.
That's Sting.
That's Sting?
Yeah.
Nice. So are we confirmed having Sting for Raw? Like, or is that just high probability?
He was supposedly actually there backstage, watching it. So.
Yeah, there was also a video posted earlier with Sting speaking at something, I think earlier today, and he's like, well, I believe my new favorite number is 31 now, so it's probably a pretty good indication that he's going to be at Raw tomorrow.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm definitely excited to see that. I haven't seen Sting in a long time.
TNA doesn't count.
Yeah, yeah. Yep.
I don't know. Willow's doing pretty good in TNA. He's really great.
All I know is like you said, Jay, this has got to be one hell of a Raw to make up for...
It has to be.
For this WrestleMania. I thought last year's WrestleMania was pretty bad. Right? I was not thrilled with last year's WrestleMania. The only match that I thought was decent was the CM Punk match.
Yeah. Any CM Punk match is good, even if it's bad.
Of course. This one, there's not even a match that I was excited for. Like, I going into the Brock Undertaker match, I wasn't excited for it, but I didn't expect him to lose. So it was just another year of Undertaker, whatever. So I had no expectations for the match one way, for a loss. But I didn't have like high expectations for a win. These are two big dudes that Undertaker's not in his prime anymore, so I wasn't expecting any major things. It's a regular match. It's not like it's a no count out, falls anywhere, no DQ match. It was just a regular match, so I wasn't really expecting anything out of it.
That's the thing. It's like no disqualification, you know it's going to go somewhere. And of course there's a little bit of freaking, little this and that going on. But even though, like, all the matches, like, I know people are going to get pissed, but even the Daniel Bryan Triple H match, I don't think that was good.
I didn't either. I mean, if I had to pick one match to be the most interesting one, it was the final match. Mm-hmm. Even though it was extremely predictable. Like, I called the winner in advance. We kind of pieced it together based on everything that was going on. But one of my friends literally sat there and went, Triple H is coming in 5, 4, 3, 2, and guess who shows up on the fucking TV? So it was at that point where it's like, is it a little too predictable? Maybe, but it was still entertaining. Predictable does not necessarily equate to not entertaining. But,
yeah, exactly.
Yes, we will have to get Dom to sing Bubble Pop.
Bubble Pop.
That is a thing.
I will not be singing any J-pop.
What the fuck is a bubble pop?
It's J-pop song from yeah.
Somewhere.
Yeah, the video is interesting to watch. The song, not so much.
Is it like a new Gangnam Style?
Yeah, something like that. It's, I think, one of the girls that was in the Gangnam Style video.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
You know the main girl in Gangnam Style.
Mm-hmm.
That it's her singing it.
Oh yeah.
Boy. So what is our next pay-per-view?
Fantastic question. I have no fucking clue.
I can't even keep track anymore.
For me.
It's a month from now. I don't know.
Extreme Rules.
Yawn.
Extreme Rules 2014. Yeah.
The next big one's going to be SummerSlam.
Right. After Extreme Rules, we have Payback, then Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank's not too bad.
And that'll be a decent one.
But, yeah.
Yeah, there's like 4 major pay-per-views every year, and then the rest are just kind of fillers.
Yeah, so Extreme Rules, Payback, Money in the Bank, Battleground, SummerSlam, Night of the Champions, Hell in a Cell, Survivor Series, and TLC. Tables, ladders, and chairs. But I don't know. They got to do something. But me and my friends were just having a discussion before the match took place that what they should do with the streak at this point is be like, the streak is an unstoppable force, and let's defeat it and start, instead of the Undertaker handpicking his opponents, like, start stipulations that put the Undertaker in like a bad spot, like put him in a Hell in a Cell match against like 4 opponents or something ridiculous, and just have the Undertaker fucking go crazy and win every single time, and like Inferno matches and Hell in a Cell cage dog kennel matches. We haven't seen one of those since Al Snow ate Pepper. Like, like, you know, I don't know. Like, I wish we got to see something other than the streak being defeated by a regular match that nobody cared about.
A regular match versus a jobber. Oh, look. He won.
This whole fucking podcast has been me raging over the fucking Undertaker.
Right.
And like,
we threw in the Divas title match a little bit.
Yeah. What do you guys?
Thing is, watching through the pay-per-view, I was like, yeah, I can talk about this during the pay-per-view, during the podcast, and I can, make reference to this. Then Brock won. I was like, fuck it.
Fuck it.
I don't care. It's gonna be all that.
I don't know. It was a decent pay-per-view. I'm not gonna say it was the worst of all time, but
I don't know.
that one match definitely left a sour taste.
I mean, I got the WWE network, so it's not like I really spent any decent money on it because I got all that other good shit it comes with. So
Right. So has there been other programming on the WWE? I won't see. I already messed it up, and then I caught myself because I almost said what I never want to say. But
the W
is there anything decent worth watching on the WWF network?
they have this Legends Roundtable thing that's just awesome. They talk about anything and everything.
Yeah, they put that against Raw though. It's airing at the same time as Raw does.
Stupid.
Yeah, that's weird.
They have this show called Countdown, which is awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty good too.
Like immediately after pay-per-view went off, it was top 10 worst gimmicks ever. And it was people like Glacier, which was a Sub-Zero knockoff.
Yeah.
And Disco Inferno, which I liked him. But
yeah.
Yeah, just things like that. And they do different things like that. And Legends House is supposed to be starting pretty soon.
Legends House is the reality show one, right?
Yeah.
That should be interesting.
And sometime, I think in May, they're going to start Monday Night Wars, which is just going to cover the whole entire series of the Monday Night Wars.
Yeah.
I'd check that out.
Yep.
For sure.
And I don't know. Do you guys have anything else you want to throw in before we wrap this up?
Brock Lesnar can eat a dick.
If they come out tomorrow at Raw and terminate Brock Lesnar, it's like this was not meant to happen. Whatever they want to phrase it as, and he is no longer welcome with the company. And
it's not his fault though.
Else.
It's not like he did the screw job. It's the ref's fault in that case.
Right, because
you saw the look on his face and Paul Heyman. They were just as shocked. It's not like they planned it.
Yeah, see, I know it's not Brock's fault because I actually had to block a guy on Facebook tonight because after the Cena match, he just started going off on Cena like crazy. Like, why can't Cena lose? He really needed to put Bray Wyatt over. He really needed. It's like, dude, he had no control over that. He's not the one who picks the winners.
Yeah, this isn't W in 1996, man.
It's like he could have just not covered him. He really could have just. It's like, no, they are given a script and they have to follow the script.
Right. What I'm going to close with is something Leatherface just mentioned in chat and said that they should have had the Undertaker's match tonight in an MMA ring, and that would have been an acceptable loss. And I kind of agree with that. Have the Undertaker and Brock Lesnar go at it MMA style. I could have accepted
an MMA
that.
rules match.
Yeah, I could have accepted that. That would have been
Brock win? Yeah,
I would have accepted that loss. And one of my friends even made a comment. It's like, oh, they're both wearing the same MMA gloves. How cute. They were wearing matching gloves. I think Lesnar said Lesnar on it, but I don't know what Taker said.
Taker's were just the normal stock ones with the brand logos and stuff.
Oh, okay.
And Lesnar said Lesnar.
Yeah, but it was still funny. Yeah, I don't know. I think I've said all that I could say without raging more.
Yes, I missed The Godfather as well.
Godfather.
Yeah, look at chat.
Yeah, Papa Shango.
Kama Mustafa was Nation Domination. Is that his name?
Yep. Yeah. We are the nation of domination.
Yeah.
I am not. Yep.
Yeah. I think that wraps things up. Yeah. You guys, anything else? Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Just eat your vitamins and it's job to Brock Lesnar.
Now the other way they can make it up is if they have Brock Lesnar appear at every WrestleMania and go 22-0.
If anybody beats that streak, I'm 1,000% done with the company. I'll never, ever, ever have anything to do with them again. Erika, do you have Twitter or something that people can follow you on if they're interested in doing so?
Yeah, it's Erika Rain 7.
How do you spell that?
Ah, hell. Give me a second here. I was not prepared. Haha.
Aha. I caught you off guard.
There.
Ah, there you go. At Erika Rain 7. ErikaRaine 7. Jason, do you have something somewhere people can follow you if they are interested in doing so?
Yeah, that's me right there. Mr. Coundry, spelled out. If you can read that.
MisterKoundry.
That's me.
You can get me on Phenomenon.
Clever.
PHENOMEDOM, because I'm something like a phenomenon. And you could follow all of us and more on tvcaptive.com, as well as right here on YouTube, as well as Facebook, Twitter, Google Plus, and Gmail at /ASOTV podcast for some more podcasts or some of your favorite TV shows. We'll be doing some more experimental content like this. See how things go. Maybe we'll be back for the next pay-per-view. Who knows? But until next time, see you guys later.
Yes, love your mama.
I fucking hate Brock Lesnar!